Welcome back to another week of Winter 2025 tier list, where I go over the most recent episode and rate it based on how I felt about it. We are going to be... I said that I dropped a Praiser anime last, week, but it was also not a promise, right? I was like, I don't really know how I felt about it. We brought it back. I got some things to say about this anime. These are still all dropped. Magic Maker, I know that I hear that a lot of people, had fun with the most recent episode, but I chose to bring this one back rather than Magic Maker based on the audience's interest. In terms of things that we are dropping, let's start with Zenshu. So the most recent episode of Zenshu, again, is probably good, if not great. Right, honestly, I think it was great. A new character showed up. She's basically the daughter of the mayor, and she sucks, as in... everything she does causes problems, and but it's fun. It's still really fun. And we got to see, the elf girl be a little bit suspicious, and the plot is developing that way. Hirose is doing her thing. We got like a Tiger Man show up and do the wrestling. It was really cool. It was really cool. For sure. But nobody gives a fuck about it. I've already made plenty of videos explaining what's going on with Zenshu, the downfall of Zenshu. TLDR, just boring to a lot of people. It's not hitting the isekai audience that it's intended to market it towards. It is failing on that department. Doesn't matter how good the production value is if the story, the characters are not compelling to that intended audience who are looking for the boiler templates, bingo check marks that you see in isekai of power fantasy, harem, degenerate ecchi fan service, and so on, right? It's just, it is what it is. That plus, I already explained to you guys how Zenshu is getting hit with copyrights. Not strikes, but claims. Strike again is really bad, but claim means that the videos can get blocked or just gets demonetized. Every Zenshu video gets demonetized, so... womp womp. Womp 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 womp. That's crazy, bro. That's actually crazy, though. Because the quality of this anime is so fucking good. But it's done. The quality of this anime also is really good, right? It's just cracked. Production value for Momentary Lily, but... sometimes production value enough cannot compel an audience. It just can't. All right. Arifure. Oh, here's another one. Bihi Neko. So the most recent episode. We didn't watch the most recent episode, right? No, we didn't. But the most recent episode that we actually did watch, which was in the previous tier list, I think I put it on good or something. It was funny. Just another person showed up who wanted Diddle Cat. But it's also dropped. It's also dropped. Lack of performance. People don't really care about it. And it was fun. I think that we got what we wanted out of it, right? We watched a couple episodes. It was mindless fun. Anna-chan fan service, yeah, the whole like bestiality memes and so on. I think that we got what we got out of it, and I have no qualms with it. It's just people don't really care about this show, so womp womp. Anything else here that we've dropped recently? No. All right. Let's bring Arifureta to good this most recent episode. Arifureta is back from hiatus. We are basically challenging ourselves, and Hajime brute forced it. Bro was like, I don't care, la 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 la. Even though you're right, I'm stronger, bye. Shizuku is, struggling, and then Hajime shows up and, like, saves her. It was cool. I don't think it was anything crazy. It was good, enjoyable Arifureta. That's pretty much it. Next up, The Great Alchemist, also... pretty good. It was pretty good. Great Alchemist, I am enjoying it more and more as the episodes go by. The bro basically just spent the entire episode just like crafting bikini armors or like, underwear, right? And he's like so lecherous, and he's also a really big pussy. To the point that the girls are making fun of him. When the girls are like, oh, master, should we put these on? And he's like, oh my god, I am such a pussy. Oh. And then the girls are like, damn, he really is a coward, huh? I guess they're trying to appeal to the beta cuck losers that watch this stuff, and that they can be like, oh, he's shy just like me. I don't know why they made the character such a fucking pussy, but it is what it is. Also, toilet maker, basically, yeah. We were selling toilets and shit. It was fun. It was fun. I'm just waiting for the whole plot line with the Holy Empire, right? They're getting involved very soon, so we're just kind of looking forward to that. But it's enjoyable. To be honest, maybe this belongs in mid. I don't know. It was good. Sometimes I feel like a lot of the stuff that I put in good should just be in mid. Like, you know, maybe I should be a lot more harsh about these ratings, but I'll just put it here for now. Next up, we had Headhunted to Another World. Most recent episode dealt with Silphido. It was also just good. It was enjoyable. I don't really have a preference of which of these animes that I enjoyed the most. It was just met a new, you know, Shitenno, the 4 heavenly kings of the Demon Lord's Empire, and Silphido is like, you know, this elf girl who doesn't want to work at all. She wears like a disguise, like a potato sack to hide herself. She doesn't want to do any work, and we were basically, you know, utilizing magic stones to create magic for less fortunate people. Demi-humans and demons, you know, there's a discrimination because demons can use magic, demi-humans can't. A lot of jealousy happens from that. It was wholesome. It was funny. It was good. Just good. But again, I feel like they should all just be down here. I don't know. I feel kind of mean for putting these in mid. That's why I just like kind of put this shit up here in no particular order. Next up, we got... And you're gonna call... Ah, man. Magic Maker, Huh? Nah, that's crazy, right? It is so odd how much I'm enjoying this now. Because the first episode, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? This is just the cocktail of all tropes and isekais and power fantasies, to the point that I thought it was so generic. And then I kept watching more. And then they started to really get me with the whole, like, you know, isekai familiars, aka slavery part of it, and how the girls just want to sign up. And then the third episode was dunking on our elder brother, peak humiliation. That was actually amazing. And now we are just, bro, it's so trashy that it's good. Like, this is, it's so interesting to me how the author of this just knows all the little things that the degenerate isekai audience wants and delivers on a wooden plate. Not a gold plate, not a silver platter, right? No, it's the production value is pretty fucking bad. But because the story is a very guilty pleasure, so interesting. I view Zenshu and Mastering Magic as two sides of the same coin. These two shows, two sides of the same coin, where one has all the production value in the world, but the stories and characters does not compel the intended audience. Where the other has little to no production value, yet the stories and character hits that audience. Therefore, this is doing better in numbers, and it's just so sad that like, art like Zenshu doesn't get the attention, but this garbage will. It's crazy, bro. It's genuinely fucking crazy, bro. And again, I feel like they should all just be here. Every one of these animes probably should be here right now. But I'll put him up here for now. I'll put him up here for now. It's like the harem that we collected last episode was so ridiculous, bro. Like in like we show up to this like field of fairies and pixies and they're like, ew, humans. 3 minutes later, oh, Glaze, Master Liam Hamilton. All right, I'm gonna make you all to my familiars. You all become waifus now. All right, we're gonna get out of here now. And they all live in our house. We have an army. And then the princess also, I think, is, you know, trying to get up in that familiar stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if she becomes her slave pretty soon. It's just peak degen isekai. It's cooking. It genuinely is. Next up, let's talk about mail order. Actually, let's talk about Apothecary Diaries. Apothecary Diaries' most recent episode, I think, is great. Don't think it's necessarily peak just yet. It's still cooking, but we had some treats in the most recent episode with the plot twist of the identity double. Right? We had a girl who was already killed in an accident, and the body was buried in another lady who went disappeared, but she is playing as that killed person from the accident. That shit actually blew my mind. I was like, what? We're building off of the corpse fungus, right? But this is not exactly what I was expecting in terms of the plot, because I thought that we were going somewhere with like a rotting body that's blocking the sewage system, which would create like an epidemic in the palace. But it was more of the body was serving as, you know, food for the fungus nearby. In terms of the ending with the blue fungus that we saw, when Mama was thinking, what would happen if we had, you know, the fungus grow straight out of a corpse? I think they were heavily hinting on Suire's immortality elixir. That's the only thing I can imagine at this point, as there was such a significance there where Mama was so curious of like, what would actually happen if we had mushrooms growing out of a dead body and it's like blue and stuff. I'm like, is that the ingredient for the immortality elixir that Mama was so teased by when Suire talked about it? I don't know, but it's cooking. It's definitely cooking. I loved it. Next up, we got Sakamoto Days. Most recent episode. Is it peak? I think it might be. Shin popped the fuck off. We had a date at basically Disneyland. We had Nagumo show up, who is a really cool character that didn't play a part in the second half, but was basically introduced to kind of like warn us about the 1 billion yen bounty on our heads. We got like this assassin organization that's coming for us. The comedy hit. The janitor guy. Kurining was his name. The action was hype. Shin popped off. I loved how they focused on Shin. Rather than have Sakamoto do everything, I wonder if the story is going to kind of go that like One Punch Man or like Eminence in Shadow direction, where don't have the main character who is the most OP solve everything immediately. Build the show around the side supporting characters, make them look good, and then have Sakamoto pull up at the very end if you need to. That's the way that I see the show going potentially. I'm not too sure, but episode 3, enjoyed it a lot more than episode 2. Great. Or should I say it was peak. Next up, we got ourselves A rank party. Fuck it, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Maybe it's an over-inflated rating right now. But the most recent episode, I feel like it should be top of great, but I want to put it at peak. Because the way that everyone is now witnessing our party pop off. We are having peak moments. The action was actually really great as well. Bandai Namco was really doing well for this show. The animation is animated. The fight scenes, it's not PowerPoint presentation. Whole team provided effort. And once we came back, everyone was glazing. Our viral clips are going viral. And you have Thunder Pike, motherfucker, get jealous, get humiliated by Yuke as we deny him. We also get the extra plot of this like abyssal dungeon, whatever, that's like a gate to like an underworld. Maybe it's a very inflated score, but I want to put it on peak. I want to put it on peak right now. Probably should be top of great, but I want to put it up there. And you know that it's going to get better and better, man. The fat guy, exactly. The dude that was so jealous of Yuke because he's like, no, those girls are mine. He pulled up, you know, with the Thunder Pike guy at the end, and I'm sure they're gonna do some sort of stupid shit which will only end up in them being humiliated. So the most recent episode I was very, very impressed with. The more I watched this, the more I realized that, like, damn, bro, this is how like good fantasy shows should be done. And in terms of good fantasy shows, let's bring up Guildmaster. And Guildmaster 2? Should I put this shit in peak? I feel like these 2 episodes both were amazing. Now, maybe it should be closer to here. You know what I mean? Maybe it should be closer to here. But, oh, man. I feel like the way that the plot was developing for Guildmaster was amazing. Like, it's not just some cheap fan service show. They're building on it with, you know, Arina having that flashback of Oji-san who low-key pre-ordering her. But now we know why she's a guild receptionist. We got that new dungeon being open, and there's like a dark god that came out. And not even to mention that before that, we had the Guildmaster versus Arina, and, you know, basically got to learn more about like Dia skills and the ready skills, whatever. The world building is building itself. I think it was really good. I think it was fucking peak, man. I think it was. The plot, again, I am surprised at how much they're fleshing out this story. Because, again, I thought it was just gonna be just laughs and giggles and fun, but it's going somewhere, man. It's actually going somewhere like crazy. Next up. Mail order isekai, I think, goes in good. Nothing crazy is happening. Bro is just hanging around, fucking girls as usual. He, I think, literally did the cat girl again, but refused the human girl. Establishing trade, basically finished her cabin. What else happened? A bobcat showed up, which is supposed to kind of hint at like a messenger of God, and there was an interesting scene of some sort of purple hair lady, which I thought was the bobcat in human form, giving him like a pet on the head. Have some plot building with the bandits, as well as the young girl, the disheveled young girl that keeps showing up at the end of every episode. I think we're getting somewhere with that. I think it's at the boiling point to pop off, but it's good, enjoyable, good. Next up, we got ourselves Kuroyuwa Medaka. This show, I think it was good. I think it was good. It's starting to cook. The first two episodes, it's just the same. I mean, you can't expect a show to immediately be fleshed out immediately, right? First episode, just shitty. I mean, it's not shitty fan service, but a shitload of fan service, which got heavily carried by her fan service, right? Second episode, a little bit slower, introducing new character who is the biggest glazer of, you know, the couple. Third episode, building on Medaka and the queen bee, right? And they're at the festival and they're starting to interact more and more, but there's a love triangle that was hinted, a cliffhanger at the very end. So I want to see where it goes. I was low-key thinking about dropping this show, but no, I'm gonna keep at it. I think that the most recent episode, which aired today, which we're gonna watch tonight, is the one where we're gonna pick off of the cliffhanger and see if the love triangle, if it actually is a love triangle, will make the story just like better than just repeat of Mona being kawaii Mona, hehe, I'm so cute, I'm queen bee, why are you not paying attention to me, here's some fan service, goodbye. You know, that's pretty much been the episode so far, but maybe it's going somewhere, man. Next up, we got Bureaucrat. It goes here. Not gonna lie, the recent episodes has been very slow. Now, even if it's slow and nothing crazy is happening, the scenes are engaging. We got the whole system of the Abascus, you know, math calculator, boomer calculator, and we got to know more about, you know, the other Ikemens, right? The blue hair guy is just like a dork who does dad puns, and, you know, because we're literally a dad, we used like a multi-dad pun joke, and he was like, oh my god, Sasuga. And then the other stuff, we had the tsundere dude who actually was very mean to, you know, the heroine girl, but actually he cares about her, and basically just made him fold and stuff like that. But I wanted to go somewhere more. It's fun, but I feel like the recent two episodes has been a bit of a nothing burger. I want some sort of plot to go, you know? It feels like we're still kind of in that tutorial phase, you know what I mean? So, I want something more from it. But still, each episode is quality. It's very quality. Apparently, the most recent episode was also outsourced compared to the other two episodes. As you can see that it's not a high priority episode, right? So We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting for this show to pop off anytime. Next up, Appraiser anime. Shit, man. I was hating on this a lot because, again, the Appraiser is by name only. It should more be like, you know, bro has a spirit eye and he's OP. It is, I actually enjoyed it a lot, the recent episode. And it also surprised me in the animation quality versus the boss fight. I thought that there was gonna be just PowerPoint presentations, just like lame action scenes. But the fight scene was really fucking good, man. Like, straight up, like, if we're gonna talk about production value and fight scenes in any of the categories here, or just like fluid animation, this is at the very top. Is it not? It is. The story, you can say what about the story, right? And the story, it's getting more interesting as we're out of that area with the spirit die, right? And we got all the OP powers, and bro did not deserve any of it. It's just all fucking borrowed given power, but whatever. He's just OP. Sure, let's go with it. The princess that we meet, Claudia Vaughn, I can't say the last two words because that's gonna get me banned. Basically, gay N-word is her last name. That's fucking crazy to me. Like, what? And then we got the husbando guy, who is, literally like, yo, can we get married too? And I'm like, bro, take some back shots for the team. It's building. And Zoid, right? The guy that betrayed us. The guy that betrayed us got dunked by the NPCs in the tavern, but the main character's a bit too much of a fucking pussy, man. I hate how he just was like, oh, it's okay, buddy. It's fine. Like, he's too kind, you know? This guy is way too kind. Imagine if we had like Noel from Notorious Talker, you know? Or even like Mimuro Toka from Failure Frame, right? Or even like Hajime from Arifureta. If we had these characters, bro, fucking dealing with Zoid. Oh, but it's getting somewhere. So it was actually, I'm actually very happy that I tried the episode again, rather than just being upset that he's just OP for no reason and the Appraiser name is just being spammed in name only and there's nothing appraising really about it other than bro fucking looking at skills. It was good. It was very fun. Next. Sentai goes to great. Yes, it does. Yes, this does. Does it reach the top? I enjoyed Apothecary Diaries a lot recently, actually. I think Sentai, it was really fucking good, man. Was it peak? Let's think about it. Let's think about it. The fight against Blue. I mean, I feel like like these three, I feel like we're pretty much on the same caliber, yet why am I putting these two on a pedestal? Because I was shocked at the story of how this can be actually a deep story. And this was also just like a peak humiliation episode, which I really value, and just like shitting on the, you know, the what's the guy? The guy that kicked us, didn't kick us, but he's like a shitty leader. This is really fun episode still. The fight against the Blue, so ridiculous. Bro is like a hero of this like medieval European land, and he just has a sword, and he sees like this dude pull up in a fucking Power Ranger suit and summon like a Transformers, and he's like, what? What the fuck? He's also very into the princess. We got two new characters. The plot is developing, right? We got these privilege skills. People are abusing these seeds, and it's looking like the person who took our father's position could be the one that is, you know, kind of like overseeing this conspiracy plot of somebody is spreading these seeds and people are taking advantage of it to oppress others using their privilege skills. So it's cooking. It was a fun episode. I think it should stay here. I think it was. Next up, 100 Girlfriends. I don't know. Because let's really think about what happened. It's just peak Coomer content. The breastfeeding scene went crazy. But was it? I think the fan service deludes people into thinking it was peak when it wasn't really. What was it? The Mado plot twist was pretty crazy. But it's not peak comedy to me. Like, fan service is not comedy to me. It was unhinged fan service, which I have no problems with, but this doesn't really make me think that it's peak. Like, I enjoyed last episode way better. The food contest. Because it was really fun. Everyone is involved. Had the theme of family and love carry out the end. Kurumi got a lot of development. She felt apologetic and sad, and we got a kiss at the end. That was great. That was peak. Most recent episode was pretty much just cheap fan service, unhinged fan service. The mate stuff was definitely shocking. I didn't really find it funny. I just found it pretty unhinged. I think I'll put it here. The fan service, I don't really care about the fan service. It doesn't make me think that the anime episode is amazing just because of fan service. I need something more than that. And episode 2 definitely had more than that. Nothing hate against the fan service, it's just personal preference. Next. We got The Girl I Hate. Shisei? You know what? Fuck it. Shisei goes to grade. Yeah. Yeah. It's this show is, it's very interesting because by all means it's a very lightweight show. Lightweight as in there is no production value. There's no need for crazy animation. A lot of the moments are also just like reduced into chibi cute scenes, which is making use of the limited resources I guess they have, which I think is perfectly fine. I love the chibi moments. Shisei, our cousin, our same age cousin by the way, just hard carrying. Shisei is God. Shisei is CEO. Shisei is this omnipotent God. I just love the Shisei fan service. I love them, man. It's grown on me. The more I watch this, the show has actually grown on me. The story and the characters is good enough. The animation is lackluster mid, but it's honestly a great time to watch. And finally, Solo Leveling. I feel like right now, I was thinking about putting it here because there was no crazy action. But do you need crazy action for it to be peak? It was a very low priority show episode. It's the re-evaluation of Sung Jin-woo and world building. And you know what? I love the world building. I think that it goes here. Sakamoto Days probably edges out on top. The most recent episode of Sakamoto Days truly was. It was a highlight episode. Solo Leveling, it was a very low-key downtime episode. But what it was able to do in terms of building up hype and suspense of the reassessment, Sung Jin-woo now in this little bit of a grace period where we are S rank, but we're not going to acknowledge it just yet in public. That's going to happen later on, and that's going to be fucking crazy. Cha Hae-in has also now made contact with Jinmu. Jinmu is basically just going around mining and shit, and I think something really fun is going to happen there. Yeah, I think it's here, man. Yeah, I think it's here. And that's pretty much it. We are waiting for this in April. Danmachi and ReZero should be coming back in about a week or two, right? It's January 27th as recording right now. ReZero will be back next Wednesday, which is in about 9 or 8 days, depending on when this episode goes live. But that's pretty much it. This is my most recent week tier list for winter 2025 based on my personal preferences, and I just feel like everything in good definitely has overlap in mid. You know what I mean? I feel like Welcome to Japan myself. We're not watching that just yet. I will put this on queue though. This show, haven't checked it out just yet. I'm thinking about picking it up, but I'm really focusing on the community series right now because I need to focus on getting back on track with the community series that, you know, people are waiting on. There kind of is space now to incorporate this, but I might just marathon all of this in the last week of winter 2025, like what we did with Gushing Over Magic Girls, but no promises. I have no promises of this. It's just an afterthought that I have. Oh, also, here's Nutmaster. Nutmaster is so fucking bad that I forgot to even include it. I already told you what happened, right? It's just so fucking bad, bro. It's just so sad that Nutmaster is such a cute looking show, huh? Nutmaster is such a cute looking show. I love the designs, the art. But like, holy shit, it's so bad, bro. Oh my god. It's not even Mid-Master, it's Dookie Master. I feel so sad that we're not gonna get Ida though, and Ida's love for pizza, but I'm sorry, Pizza Lolly. You are not enough for me to, you know, actually keep watching this show. So that's pretty much it. And again, I feel like I'm being a bit too lenient. I feel like everything that's in good definitely should be placed in mid. Like I don't know, like, eh? But I feel bad. Eh? Huh? Something like that, eh? Let's put it on. Alright, yeah. You guys can bring it good. I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm not gonna shit on these animes. Anyways, that's this week. See you next time.